The Powered Leg Prosthesis Race. The 5 starting pilots make almost no mistakes and surprise with different tactics. Who will be victorious? In this race, seconds decide. Rinat Kuzayrov from the Russian team Ortokosmos impresses in his first of totally 3 heats with breathtaking speed. He shows the fastest run of all pilots and realizes in a bit more than 2 minutes by far the best time. But the team celebrates too early, because there is one detail that puts a damper on Rinat's plans. In the task stairs, he has positioned the boxes very slightly in front of the marking line. A mistake that costs him the victory. Can Rinat still compete for the top spots with another heat? More on this later. Andre Frey from the Swiss team Circleg uses interesting tactics. He goes backwards in the task tilted path. He chooses this tactics probably because of his passive prosthesis. His model has been developed by a young startup. It is very cheap but not as flexible as others. Andre also chooses the reverse gear on the balancing beam task. Other pilots, such as Rinat, whom we have seen before, have each turned around at the end of the beam. But of course, turning around takes time. That's why Adrian Bach from the Polish team Contour 2000 also chooses reverse gear on the balancing beam. And yet here occurs a tricky moment. Adrian almost loses his balance. Adrian has an active prosthesis. His fire red model is more mobile than other prostheses, which are very stiff. The prosthesis allows him to move more naturally in different situations, for example when he is on stairs. Here you can see how the prosthesis moves. That looks very smooth. At the finish line, Adrian is not completely satisfied at first, despite running without any mistakes. Will he succeed in reaching a top place? Like Adrian, Kentaro Higuchi also has an active prosthesis. His movements therefore look very fluid and ergonomic, as here in the task hurdles. However, Kentaro from the Japanese team Bionic M is not as fast as other pilots with his prosthesis. That's why in the task stairs he chooses a different approach than the other pilots. Instead of climbing the stairs twice, he stacks all objects on top of each other. So he only has to climb the stairs once. Can he make up for the decisive seconds? All other pilots have to climb the stairs twice, including Stefan Poth from the Swiss team Neurolex. He first brings all the balls to the other side and then fetches the 3 boxes. Stefan also shows that he is innovative with the balancing beam. He uses the buckets as stabilizers to turn at the end of the beam. Is this Stefan's recipe for victory? Now back to Rinat Kuzayrov, which we saw at the very beginning. How does he master his second chance? Once again, the Russian is very fast. But then comes the decisive moment in the task tilted path. An apple falls down. The task is failed. How bitter for Rinat, who was so fast up to this point. He is the only pilot who doesn't manage a faultless heat and therefore lands on 5th place. Here's the ranking. Rinat on place 5 with 86 points because of the apples that fell down. And in the top 4 in alphabetical order, Adrian Bach, Andre Frey, Kentaro Higuchi and Stefan Poth. All of them remained without any mistakes and thus scored 100 points. But who was the fastest? In the end, it's all about seconds.